She threw her drink from her lunch into the on all the fucking shoes. She started fucking up the store, and literally in my mind I'm like, oh my fucking god, I'm not cleaning this shit. I'm not cleaning that shit. That's what I was thinking. Hey guys, it's Nelson. So I decided to do a story time today. I wasn't able to do the story time before because I was still working at where I used to work at. But since I don't work there anymore, I decided why not make a video on it. I was a manager there for about maybe like a year or so. And I had this one employee. She would give customers attitudes on the register, on the floor, for no type of reason. I would be a witness to this multiple times. I had to speak to her multiple times. So I was already over her. Like, you're being mean to people who are being super nice to you. That's a little backstory on that. So one night I was closing with my old best friend. She was also a manager there, so we were closing together. I believe one of the people who she knew from outside had gotten hired, so I assumed that she told her, you know, all about us and the managers. And so that new person was closing that night too. We're gonna call the girl who's crazy and bipolar, let's call her schizophrenic. Okay, so schizophrenic was in the she was in the fitting room that night, and then her friend, let's call her friend, her friend was on the floor doing a section. And me and my other manager noticed that that they were talking a lot. And so they were, you know, conversing or whatever throughout the night. So we noticed it, and that's a problem because my other manager had went and told them something or whatever. And then after we closed, the fitting room girl always has to go into a section to help clean the store so we can leave at the end of the night. So we decided that we were going to put her all the way on the other side of the store so that they would have no more conversations. And I guess, like, she noticed that, like, that's why we did that. So she automatically caught attitude. So she finished her little section in the front. She finished her little section. And then all of a sudden she was finished with her section and I couldn't find her. So I'm like, we're looking for her. And I see her on the other side of the store. So I walk up to her. You know, I'm not being rude or anything. Anyway. So I walked up to her and, you know, I was in her room, but we weren't, like, right next to each other. So as I was walking towards her, she was, like, on the table, like, acting like she was, like, fixing something or whatever. And I walked up to her and I was like, oh, like, are you done with your section? Like, the section that she was just in. And she didn't answer me. But, like, I figured, you know what, like, I'm just walking close to her. Like, maybe she didn't hear me. So I continued to walk towards her. And I'm like, so are you done? And then she looks up at me like this. So I'm like, okay, I know she just ignored me, but I'm not going to jump to conclusions. So I'm going to give her one more chance. Excuse me, you done? Did you hear me? Very nice, very polite, very professional, which I shouldn't have fucking been. And then she was like, yeah, like, I heard you. Some bullshit. Like, why are you saying it again? Like, some attitude sneak bullshit. So I was like, excuse me? I was like, I was just wondering if you were done. Like, there's no need for the attitude. And she's like, I didn't even give you an attitude, but, like, I heard you and you asked me, like, 3 times. And I was like, well, I don't need your attitude. Go to plus. Trying to end the whole conversation. Like, bye, don't care. Go to plus. Finish the store. I want to go home. And so she goes to plus. So I'm conversing with my other manager. And I was like, yo, like, she's getting ridiculous. Like, her attitude is out of control. Like, she needs to go. And she's coming back and going back in the fitting room where the girl is while I'm talking to my other manager in the same section. So she passes by me and she hears what I'm saying. She want to turn around and be like, oh, well, you know, like, I didn't even give you a fucking attitude. And I was like, watch who you're talking to because I'm not. I can't say. First of all, watch who you're talking to because I'm not blank. I said that because she had gotten into a fight with another associate, but like, you know, like, I was basically telling her, like, I'm not an associate. So she was shocked at that. And she was like, what? And I was like, watch your mouth. And then she proceeded to go ballistic. She like started screaming at the top of her lungs and like cursing, like, oh, like, what the fuck are you talking about? Yada yada. So at that point I was like, okay, you need to go home and clock out. So she's like stomping around the store, like going to the break room to gather her things. She goes in the break room. Well, like, on her way to the break room, I hear her like, oh, like, I'm gonna catch you out. Not gonna entertain that girl. It's my job. I just wanted her to go at that point. And after I told her to leave, I said nothing else to her. I wasn't egging her on. I wasn't cursing back at her. I wasn't doing anything. I didn't curse. First of all, I didn't even get in trouble, okay? I did nothing wrong. So she proceeds to go to the break room. I'm just standing literally exactly where I was, like literally like real nonchalant, like whatever, hurry up. So she goes to the break room. We hear slamming. We hear like she's like fucking up the break room, like slamming the lockers, throwing the garbage on the floor. To come out, and comes out and starts ripping clothes off racks, whooshing tables, breaking shit. She picked up all the makeup and threw it across the fucking store. Like, she threw her drink from her lunch into the on all the fucking shoes. She started fucking up the store, and literally in my mind, I'm like, oh my fucking god, I'm not cleaning this shit. I'm not cleaning that shit. That's what I was thinking. She went into the sales section and threw that on the floor. She went to the bins because it, you know, if you ever been to the Popular store, you know that there's bins in the front with like makeup and, you know, cosmetic bags and stuff. She was throwing everything, like throwing shit at the top of her lungs. And my other manager's like, on security. So she's following her around. I didn't give a shit. Break everything in this store. It ain't mine, and I ain't cleaning it. If she would have just left when I told her to leave and said nothing else, she still would have had a job. I don't understand why you're acting like that. It just makes no sense to me. And then so she's walking her little ass out after fucking up the store. She's like, oh, I'm not even clocking out. I was like, don't clock out. We'll fix it. Bye. Just go.